or we talk about Joburg. No, Cape Town has the problem. So there's gangsterism. The child can get swept up in this gangsterism. The child can feel that the gang, he wants to belong because he's finding something there. He's macho. People listen to him. He's part of a clique. He's got some whatever. Whatever they find there. This thing is going to go on. You can cry blood. This thing is not going to stop. Because your tears is not going to make it stop. Your actions as a community is going to make it stop. You taking interest in your child and in the child next door and in the child next door and in the child over the road and the child at the back. That's going to make a difference. The environment you're going to provide for that children to grow in. You're going to provide the environment in your lounge. You're going to provide the proper environment. You're going to provide the environment in your backyard. You are going to provide it. Moet die kinders weggaan nie. Provide conducive environments for them to grow. And don't nag. You're chasing these children away with your nagging. Speak to them. The Quran speaks about just go into the Quran and see where the word qawl comes, the word statement. And then you see the context when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word qawl. Speak decisive words. Qawl al-layyin, speak gentle words. This is what the Quran says, how you need to interact. Linta lahum, be soft with them. This is how the Quran speaks. When the Quran speaks about conversing and interacting. Otherwise we're going to send our children. We're going to be sending them somewhere else. Don't quarrel a lot in your house. This might seem like a small thing. It might seem like an insignificant thing. No. The children that we sit with, we find out that the home is upset. The home is upset. Now, the parents don't think the home is upset. Hulle skel maar net. Dis al. Innocently. They're just arguing with one another every day. But for them it's nothing. It's almost like sports. If they didn't fight for the day, then it wasn't a good day. And the extent of the fight differs. Some people just use mild abusive language. Other people are completely abusive. It sounds like there's a gang war playing itself out there. Other people make threats. Other people involve the extended family. Ja, but jou pa. And she will say, ja, but jou ma hulle almal. That's the children's grandparents we're talking about here now. Father swearing, the daddy swearing the mommy. As mos my vrou man, sê gee my las. As jou kind se ma. The woman taking the father for a kleintjie. Ja, hy is weer jou kind se pa wat sy vir 'n kleintjie vat. Hy gaan sy pa se vir 'n kleintjie vat. Hy word dan geleer hoe om dit te doen. You giving him the education. Don't quarrel. Professionals are telling us this. Professional people who go study years and years. They go study years to come and tell us what we know. Don't quarrel. They're going to become dysfunctional adults. They're not going to know how to solve their own problems. They're going to go through life quarreling. They're going to go through life fighting. That's why you find kids stabbing one another on schools over a cigarette. Gee my eentjie man. Ek het nie of ek wil nie. Boom, stab him. What? Where did this child come on this? Where did this child learn that you solve a problem by stabbing another person? It's crazy. We are not talking about times of Jahiliyyah, my dear brothers and sisters. We are not talking about a movie that we are watching. This is our lives. This is the life that we step into when we walk outside of this masjid. So it needs our attention. It needs our attention. Don't let children have too much idle time. And our youngsters, you got too much idle time. There's 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 12 hours, there's still 12 hours left. Let no one tell you that you are too busy. That is a whole lot of nonsense. No one is too busy. That times that you're busy saying, I'm busy, that's the time that you're free. It's only when you're really busy that you're busy. But you are actually planning to be busy just now. That's what you are doing. And when just now comes and you're not busy yet, then you're planning to be busy just now. You're not busy. So adults, fathers, mothers, make them busy. What has happened to parents now that we have to feel sorry to ask our children to do something for us? We're living in a community where parents are afraid to ask the children. Ek wil nie vir hom vra nie. Vir hoekom nie, hy's moeg. Hy gaan die hele dag skool. Sê hy moet die vullis daarvoor sit. Nee, jy vat Jairat. Vat Jairat self. Kinders leer hard. My kinders. Hy leer so hard. Hy leer niks. He doesn't learn to take the trash out. If you didn't teach a child to take the trash out, tell me, is he ever going to be able to take the trash out? Or is he going to expect someone else to take the trash out for him? Take that statement in any way you want to. Subhanallah. Too much idle time. Te bang om vir hulle te sê hulle moet salah maak. Te bang. Parents are too afraid. What is happening? We expect the opa grootjie, hy is die enigste ene met die plak. Maak julle dan nie salah aan die, hy sê, hier neeg jy ou al die. That's what they say. If there's someone that finally speaks the truth, then there's a collective response for that person. Nou, ek kan dit sien, dis hoe hulle wit, as hulle oud raak. No. You have to ask the simple questions, my brothers. Did you make salah? Have you got wudu? I see you making salah here. Did you take wudu? You need to ask those simple questions every time. En het maak nie saak hoe oud hulle is, you know your children. You know that if he's 16, whether he's got the potential to stand there without wudu or not. You know. So you ask the questions that you know about. And you know when they're lying also. So as hy sê, ja, ek het salah gemaak, dan sê hy net, moet die liegie kostaan nie. Klaar, maak weer salah, vir die ander salah wat hy gemis het. But bilutf, use hikmah. Besides that, bietjie water, lekker. Die ou mense het gesê, maak voete nat. Make your feet wet. Hulle het gemeen, gaat maak salah. Want water is maar so iets. The children are lounging around, tired. Take some water, was die gesig, lekker fresh, 5 times a day. Get the static out. If you want to ask Dr. Mujib the benefits of taking wudu, and just by rubbing water onto the body, you'll probably be able to give you a whole khutbah on that. You see? All we're asking here is, tell them to take wudu. Add a little bit of water. It's not only good for them for their salah, it will refresh them, it will put them in a good mind space. Tell them to make salah. They're actually going to learn to focus. They're actually going to learn to start thinking about things when nothing is happening around them. Because our children can't think about things when nothing is happening around them. As soon as they got a free moment, that's all, check there. Not even when they got a free moment while they're walking also. Nou die dag toe staat ek in my kar, ek luister die program op die radio, en die ou loop, het was nou nie 'n kind, hy was 'n groot man, en hy loop, loop hy in die kar. Nou sê mooi nie, maar toe lag ek maar uit. Sê mooi nie, maar ek kan nie my lag ingehou het nie. The children is the same, all the time. There's not a free moment, they need to know. They need to know, who knows what? Who knows what about me? I'm sitting in the toilet now. I'm struggling, I'm a bit constipated. That's net so gaat het, mix it. Hulle sê alles. It's not like the old days, where certain things you said and certain things you didn't say. They say everything. Everything. Updates, that's what they call it. Good or bad, this is not the khutbah. The khutbah isn't about that. The khutbah is how much time or how the kids need their mind to be diverted with trivialities around them, where they can't just be alone. They can't just be alone with their thoughts. It's like a nightmare for them to be alone with their thoughts. What must I do? It's got nothing to do. No, maak salah man. Dink aan Allah. You're going to teach the child something. Time is almost up, but the talk is long way from up. But the time is almost up. So I'm going to jump quickly. There's a lot of research that has been done with regard to behavior and violent behavior in children. And all types of behavior, in fact. But violent behavior is something that you must worry about, especially in our community. There's a lot of violence. So we need to be worried about that. So there's certain factors that can have where your child or anyone's child, there's an increased risk of violent behavior in certain children. I'm just going to run through those things so that at least you leave with something that you can use as a bit of a marker for yourself. If the child was exposed previously to aggressive behavior and violent behavior, or any type of dysfunctional situation, then most likely the child is going to be aggressive. The child can become violent, and the child will also solve the child's problems in a dysfunctional way. So these are the factors. If the child was a victim of physical abuse and or sexual abuse, if the child was exposed to violence in the house, if the child saw the mother beating up the father beating up the mother, whatever the case may be, if the child saw violence in the home, brother was a gangster, we had to go bail the one out by the Polsmoor and whatever the case may be, this type of thing, the child is prone. Genetic factors, it might just be in the system. Die pa so ou, die kind is ook so. Exposure to violence in the media, TV, movies, etc., etc. They see how they solve the problem with a gun. Use of drugs and alcohol, the child is at risk. The child is going to be a problem child. Presence of firearms in the home. Can you imagine that? They said those people that have firearms in their home, children are more at risk in those homes to have a tendency towards a violent behavior and towards outbursts of anger. Just because there's a gun in the house. I didn't do the research. Combination of stressful family socio-economic factors. A combination of things that's happening in the home. There's poverty, there's severe deprivation, there's a marital breakup like a divorce or something. Maybe there's single parenting, there's unemployment, there's loss of support from the extended family. The extended family, het vir hulle afgeskryf, want hy was die swatskaap and whatever the case may be. So the child is growing up without the extended family support. That child is prone. Now what did you notice in all of this? Did you notice in all of this that it's a community affair? Did you notice in all of this that it's not only the child? That you and I, all of us, we are playing a part in either building the society or breaking the society. And what is the society that Islam wants to establish? We know Islam wants to establish a community based on good moral values. And we make dua that comes to pass, inshaAllah. With these few words, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the tawfiq and the understanding and the willingness to want to do things for our own betterment. Jazakumullahu khair wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Jazakumullahu khairan to Mawlana Zakariya for those wonderful words. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who can hear and implement.